Hey, this is Colin Costello with Real 360, and I am here with the great Alex Pissios, president of Cinespace Studios. How's it going, Alex?
Great, Colin. Thanks for having me. You know, it's not the great, it's Alexander the Great.
That is true, Alexander the Great. And with that American flag in back of you,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm being judged right now or not. Plus, the way the angle of the camera is, you're kind of looking down on me, so you're not getting the effect over here that I'm getting.
I need the Greek flag back there.
Yeah, exactly. How's it going?
Good. All right. You know what? Staying positive. You know, coming by the studio every day. You know, we were lucky enough that under the rules that the state of Illinois had, because we have 2 million square feet here and we have to upkeep it. You know, so we're able to. You know, I got roofers here, which thank God with that rainstorm yesterday, we're working on those leaks today. Just maintaining the studio. We poured we repaired a lot and poured some new sidewalks that it really needed that were kind of broken down and unsafe. You know, and working on the air filters and, you know, kind of also thinking about a game plan on, you know, when the shows do decide to come back to be ready for it.
Yeah, I was wondering, I mean, let's go right there, you know, because we've reported articles on Prague opening back up, Cape Town opening back up with, you know, obviously the guidelines. Have you been talking to the studios at all or in conversations with the networks, like what will your guidelines be? I'm assuming that they're going to follow similar rules that I've been seeing.
Yeah, you know what, I haven't had a one-on-one yet, but I've been kind of reading stuff on the internet of what some of the studios are saying, and the one thing I did hear was that it is definitely going to be a blanketed type of deal where all the studios will kind of have the same rules in order to reopen. I've been concentrating more on our stuff here, like common area stuff, which is obviously going to be my responsibility. For example, we're going to have a lot more places to get your hand sanitizer at the studio. We're definitely going to be having more, you know, where before maybe we had a group of guys go in a couple times a day into the washrooms, you know, maybe every hour now we're going to have them going in, definitely wiping all the doorknobs in the hallways more often, you know, and then also working with a company called Surf Pro that I've met with and kind of introducing them when the studios are ready, if they want to have the stages disinfected or the offices or the
right. Now,
you know,
I read, or we actually reported it. That's where I read it. That, for instance, in Prague, they're going to screen people before entrance, even onto like a lot or a location. Would that fall under your responsibility?
You know,
screening?
it wouldn't. I mean, I could help them if they wanted. You know, what I kind of told all the studios is, hey, once you guys really know what you guys are going to need, regardless of what my common area is, and I'll definitely work on to make sure it's a safe environment here, because that's the most important thing. But I'll help them in any other way I can as they try to implement, you know, the safety measures to get back into the studio.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real interesting quandary because, for instance, we did a story on Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers had a conference call with all the showrunners and the execs, and they were talking about, because obviously they screen a lot of superhero series, and how the big hurdle is, how do you stage those fight scenes now, which,
Yes.
You know, it seems kind of funny when you talk about it, but it's true because people are coming into contact over and over again with people on these shows. And you have Chicago PD and where there's a lot of action. Like, how do you get around that, do you think?
Well, you know what, I definitely think, I mean, one thing for sure, you know, in 2020, I don't think you're going to see too many intimate scenes on any of these shows.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's for sure. But I have heard that they have been working with some type of clear film that would actually kind of be a separator right at the face area. So we obviously wouldn't see it after they're done editing, but you could actually have two faces talking that close to each other, but there will be a clear piece of plastic in between that doesn't catch the eye of the camera after they're done.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the. I also heard that they were working on that. So it's going to be you know, because really for them to come back, I mean, it's going to be important that everybody's safe, but if it's the head actor, right, then he all of a sudden gets sick and he has to be out for 14 days. I mean, that'll be interesting how they handle the filming then.
Yeah, no, for sure. I had not heard about that film. That's really interesting. So then it's basically invisible, so they wouldn't even have to remove it in post.
Exactly. And it's some type of film where I mean, as the two actors are talking in a screaming match face to face, there's this very clear, almost like a sheet of plastic that just covers in between them as they're talking to each other.
Wow. Wow, that's really cool. I was almost wondering with intimate scenes, because I also write and direct out here. I was wondering, would, even though it would be costly, motion capture, like shooting one actor and then shooting another and then putting them together.
Yes. No, you know what I think, and again, I don't know, but I think things might just take a little, once they do decide to come back, I think things will take longer than before. You know what I mean?
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. If it's 10 days to shoot an episode, maybe it's 14 days now. They're not going to hurry it as much, especially in the beginning.
Well, I've heard, for instance, in Prague, they're allowing only 50 people on set. So I'm wondering if when we do return, if it's going to look more like indie film sets.
Yeah.
People doing more.
Well, Prague might even be they might be the test rabbit, right? To see how it goes there. And if they see that it's going well, maybe they're going to say, hey, this is working. Let's follow this way.
You just kind of wonder, because I'm in the guild too, and which doesn't really affect that, because we're going to have virtual writers' rooms and casting rooms for a long time. But I kind of wonder, though, how the unions are going to react. Like, you can't have 15 people on set now, or we can only have one hair and makeup on set.
Right. Well, the one thing I definitely have noticed in everything I've read is the food is going to be a whole different world. I mean, can you touch on that a little bit? Well, definitely, look here at this, you're used to seeing, the caterers lay out this beautiful food, and, everyone gets in line and grabs the ladle and grabs their food and puts it on a plate, puts it back in there. And the next guy, I mean, I've been hearing everything will definitely be pre-made and pre-packaged for the day. And,
I'd heard that no buffets, the buffet line is gone basically.
Even I heard in Vegas, they're actually getting rid of buffets now because they don't even think it'll never come back, is what they're saying.
Well, I mean, I think what we're calling the new normal is kind of become our actual normal after a little while.
Yes.
And I heard like the craft service table, that might disappear.
Big difference. Yeah, I mean, look, being around the business like we have here the last 10 years, I mean, it wasn't that crazy if a guy, there's a handful of M&Ms, a guy would grab a handful, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because everybody's rushing around, everyone's on the fly.
Exactly.
It's like you're on the move.
Yeah, can you imagine now, when's the next time when you belly up to a bar and they like to put the peanuts or the popcorn there? How many people now are going to be grabbing those peanuts? I don't think that many anymore.
I know. And I also heard masks basically for everybody. And I had heard you were talking to Barb possibly about a plexiglass wall in between the crew and the actors.
Yeah, they've been saying some stuff. I've been reading about plexiglass too everywhere. I don't know how, they started talking a lot about it. Even Vegas did, I noticed, about having plexiglass in between the players. I was reading something, but now they're kind of going away then and saying, hey, forget the plexiglass. Let's just have a seat in between, only, instead of having 6 people at a table, only 3. So I'm wondering to see where they'll go with that.
Wow. That's, it's nuts to think about.
It's crazy. But you're right. It'll be a new norm. And I think it's a lot of things I think are going to change forever. I don't think it's going to be.
I do predict what you were saying. It's going to take longer to shoot because the unions can basically argue, well, we can't do a 16, 18-hour day. That lowers your immunity system.
That's right. No, it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see what they both come to and agree on. But the most important thing is obviously safety. You don't want anybody getting sick or hurt, or that's number one.
Yeah. Now the CW, we just did a story on the CW announced that the new TV season is going to start in January.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, you didn't read our article.
No,
Yeah, they said, which makes sense because a lot of their series have a lot of special effects in them. Supernatural is scheduled to air in the fourth quarter. They still have 2 more episodes they have to shoot. I was just wondering, because you're dealing with NBC, you're dealing with Fox, and they haven't done their upfronts yet. Have you heard anything to the effect?
No. You again, you hear just a little bit of whispers here and there, and people saying that they hope to be filming back by Labor Day.
Yeah. That's I had kind of heard because writing can still go on right now. So writing and casting is going on. But I've heard just crazy things out here, just saying basically hoping to shoot September. Yeah,
and what, Colin, what it really is it's I think if it's going to depend on what we see with the spike, right? If the stuff spike up again before September, I mean, then you start questioning if 2021 is 2020. You just got to write it off, right? I mean, that's where it's all you just don't know.
Yeah. This is a question from our illustrious publisher, Barbara Roach, because she's an Empire fan. And obviously they ended their series, but they never shot the actual finale. Have you heard anything? Because anything that they may ever come back and try and shoot the finale? The ratings weren't that great.
No, the ratings weren't that great. I didn't hear anything like that. I mean, look, the sets are still up and they haven't come back. Nobody's come back since March 13th when they said, that's it, or, time to go. So, I mean, I'm wondering when they even come back to start disassembling the sets. And, so yeah, everything is still up. I mean, here it's almost, people, it's like everyone just disappeared in one day, and you walked around and you'd see half Coke cans still, or I mean, it's like it was kind of
like a ghost town. That's eerie.
Yeah, it was very eerie. Yeah, it's almost like an alien. Somebody came in and pressed a button and everyone disappeared.
Oh my God! So people really, when it happened, people just bolted like that? Or?
Well, no, they were told not to come in. I mean, it was everyone, again, the safety was number one, and I agree. I mean, I agreed with it from the beginning. I mean, safety first, and people getting sick and people dying. I mean, this is serious stuff.
But take me back to right then. Like, what goes through your head? You're running a major studio in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like you just said, a UFO just came and sucked everybody up. Like, what goes through your head when you're like hearing?
It was surreal when when you first hear it. You're still watching the shows, kind of put a bunch of stuff back, lock some stuff in, knowing that they only got about a week left. But it was surreal when everyone's gone and you come here and you're used to seeing thousands of people a day, just cars and trucks. I mean, this place is like I tell people, it really is a factory. It's a factory of content. It's just a different way of manufacturing. I mean, they used to manufacture steel here before for 100 years, and now we manufacture content. And just to see everyone disappear like that, it was lonely. And then it got, you almost go through the emotions. You're surprised, you're freaked out, then you're lonely, and then you're depressed. You're like, wait a second, I can't believe this is happening. And, so in the meantime, what I tried to do is just, stay positive, reached out more with the philanthropy. I saw there was a demand and a need for less fortunate people. So, we worked a lot with the Greater Food Depository. We gave them a bunch of space to store their stuff.
It's fantastic.
And then we started with Mount Sinai Hospital, which is my neighbor here, feeding some dinners for the first responders that have been working tirelessly for us. And just this past weekend, we had a huge fundraiser, CEO COVID, that I happened to be one of the founding Circle members in, that it looks like when it's all said and done, will probably be over $2 million we raised, and that was a great thing. We had Common on there, and we had the band Chicago. Then we had a bunch of local actors and all Chicago. So it was a total Chicago. Bonnie Hunt and Jenny McCarthy and Brian Urlacher and Bulls players, Tony Kukoc and Bill Wennington. And Zach Levin, and it was a great event. It turned out great. Yeah, it was great.
No, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So when the studio does open up and the networks do return, any movies on our that should be on our radar that you're hoping to get?
No, I haven't. I'll tell you, the phone definitely has not stopped. I mean, the good news is that I've had lots of calls from studios asking about space. Wanting to know. Yeah. So the good news is, and that's, I think we're blessed in this industry that we will be one of the industries that actually, when it does go, it's going to be go. It's not going to be a slow process. Supply and demand is obviously how business works in any business, and there obviously is a huge demand for content right now. I mean, I've watched shows on Amazon and Fox and Netflix for the second and third time now because there's really nothing on anymore, right? I mean,
I know.
So I'm going back to season 1 like billions and watching it over again just because there's nothing else to watch. So
no,
I think we're lucky.
We need new content. Like I know there's a couple. I think The Shy is still scheduled to start in July, but I think Shameless was supposed to air its final season this summer, and I haven't heard anything about it. I don't even know if they've shot or anything.
No, I haven't heard a thing. Well, I haven't heard a thing. I mean, and that's where, I mean, that's how I kind of stay positive to know that, when it does go, and we don't know when, if it's July, August, September, October, November, it's going to go, you know what I mean? And so that's good to feel that, to know that it's coming.
No, for sure. So any plans on expansion of the studio? I know you've been talking about a backlot.
Yeah, we've always been, we finished up the 31st, we obviously have Cinespace here. In Lawndale. Then we built our second facility in Little Village, about 10 minutes from here.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Yeah, which the AMC show, 61st Street, is the first show that they were actually moved into the offices. Then this happened, and that's a show produced by Michael B. Jordan. That we're excited about, and we're still looking for we're always looking for opportunities. I'm looking at some vacant land around the city now, but yeah, I'm always looking for opportunities to expand, and the backlot is definitely something that we were drawings and working on it, and we're still working on it, just a little bit slower pace now.
Does the backlot just? I think it's a great thing. I love being on a backlot. Yeah. But does a backlot concern you at all, just because of the weather or anything?
Yeah, there's two. It's logistically where to do it, and the weather too. But originally we had this idea of building this Chinatown in New York and London. Right. And then after talking to the studios the last couple of years, they're like, well, you know what? We love what you're thinking, but what about you putting the infrastructure up for a backlot? And then when we come and we know what we're filming, we get to build our lot. So
that really is smart.
Yeah. So actually, I got educated. They said, Alex, it's great that you want to build Chinatown, but what if we want something from 1930, right? And I said, yeah, that's a good point. They go, so I think after talking to the studios, and they're like, why don't you just build the infrastructure, the steel erectors that
sure,
and then let us come in and use it the way we would need it. And then when we're done, if you like it, then we'll work some out that you can keep it up. So that's kind of where we're going with now. We just we have engineers kind of put an idea together how to put the structures up.
That's really smart. That makes
it wasn't me. I can't take the credit, but the studios educated me on that one.
No, but I mean that sounds really smart for production, and also it makes sense. I think going post-COVID, because I know that there's going to be a lot of concern about cleaning down a location if they're actually on a location. And if you have the flexibility to build your own location on the back lot.
Right. Exactly.
I think that's really a great idea.
And the nice thing is there's a lot of vacant land around here. So I know that a lot of the people that own the land would be all open to, letting us use it to build stuff on if we need more space.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Well, you look healthy. You good?
Yeah, I'm great. You know what? Knock on wood, family's healthy.
Good.
kids are healthy. I mean, you know, this e-learning thing is really taking 4 kids at home is, I mean, you know, my wife said she didn't realize she was going to be a teacher at this point of her life.
Oh my God. And since they're all home, you're risking COVID and just going into the office.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I go to the office. You know what?
I go to the office.
People are like, I can't let you go to work. I go, I got 2 million square feet of empty space here. There's so much distance in here. Nobody's going to see. I mean, I'm safer here than I am anywhere.
Well, look, this has been great, Alex.
Thank you.
I wish you safety and a lot of success and a lot of health.
Same to you, my friend. God bless. Stay safe, and hope to see you face to face soon.
Absolutely. Well, if you get the Matrix at the studio when it ever comes back to shooting, I got to be able to sneak on that lot.
I promise. You're in.
Awesome. I'll talk to you later, Alex.